thing in the world to do is to go out into the petting farm, runs up in the trees and he shakes the branches like this, and the goats run around and go, "It's raining food, it's raining food," and he sits on top and goes, "Ha ha, you fools," and they all have a wonderful time at it. But that is Coda, the Koala mundy. The ones in the next stall right there are a breeding pair of Koala mundy. The gray one is the female. She normally only turns gray when she's about to have a baby. So we expect to have another baby Koala mundy soon. And when we do have a baby one, they are uber cute and they look like that. And the baby will ride on my shoulder. It stays with its mother for about 5 or 6 weeks, and then it'll ride on my shoulder until it's about 4 months. And then it'll go be an ambassador for someone else's farm. So this one is a pet. Those two are a breeding pair. Good boy, Coda. These other guys want the super worms. Maybe. He's got a survival instinct. Yes, I do. Now, Coda was saying, "Oh, I should have eaten them." All right, this next animal we're going to see is named Bakugan. He is named after the Bakugan toys that my son used to be in love with when he was quite a bit smaller. Going to college now. I don't think he took his Bakugans with him. So the thing about these Bakugan toys is they make into a little ball like that, and then the kids have a game, and you try to roll the Bakugan, and if it lands on top of the magnet, it jumps out into the toy like that. So that's why this next animal is named Bakugan, Baku for short. So this guy is a Brazilian 3-banded armadillo. He's got his 1, 2, 3 moving bands. They're held together by these lines of skin. This is a mammal, not a reptile, so this is a carapace, not a shell. So where you see all these little star-shaped patterns all over him, these are all little bony plates, and then they're all held together by lines of skin like this is. If you hold him towards that light, you'll see he's got little hairs coming through all over him, because it is a carapace, not a shell. So wherever all those little gaps are, that's where the skin is holding it together, and the hairs grow through in between. This is his head, this is his tail. So there are about 50 kinds of armadillos in the world. There are 2 that can make a complete sphere like this. And the reason his name is Bakugan is when he comes out, he just pops right out like the little Bakugan toy does. And then he's just a cute little fella. He's friendly, he likes to be scratched underneath his chin like this. Good boy, Baku. put him down, he just runs around like a little potato on high heels. This guy is an insectivore. He loves to eat bugs. So we get shipped in for him here, superworms and mealworms and hornworms and waxworms and black soldier fly larvae and housefly pupa. And we sprinkle him out in a dirt box in his room, and then he digs down after him. So he's foraging, like his natural foraging behavior. An armadillo can detect a bug 8 or 10 inches underground, and then it will dig right down and get those guys. So that is what Bakugan does. His theory of defense is that it is the carapace. He'll ball up and he'll say, "I don't believe you can get me." And I'm told he's pretty accurate in that. The idea is that that would stop at 22 short. So it's a pretty solid system that he's got going there. And he's always looking to go into corners and go hide and look for bugs to eat. He's entirely friendly. He's a cute little guy. I think the coolest thing is the way that his ears go. Like that. He is in the super order Zathoran, which is mammals with a hinged spine. So this guy, the Zathorans, are armadillos, anteaters, and sloths. Animals with a hinged spine. So they all can ball up to one degree or another, but this guy is the certified professional at it. Guy likes to be petted, Kevin. Likes to be scratched underneath like that. He gets all like he's ticklish. He starts to. If he didn't like it, he would ball up. And if this guy snaps down on your finger, bad news. Alright, these next ones have a similar theory of defense as Baku does. Baku there would ball up and say, "I don't believe you can get me." These guys would ball up and say, "Go ahead and try." So these obviously are hedgehogs. When they ball up, their quills all stick out tangent to their skin, and they are quite sharp. And this one is pretty cute. You hold her like this, she goes like that, and makes a cute picture like that. When they're balled up, their quills all stick out tangent to their skin, and they're quite sharp. But then when they calm down and open up, you can just pet them from nose to tail like this. And as long as you go nose to tail, it's all good. Their quills all lay down in one direction. If you go tail to nose, it's worth knowing the first aid kit is over there behind Kevin. And there are plenty of Band-Aids in there for you. But if you go nose to tail, you don't have to worry about it. If you want to hold it, you got to pick it up yourself, because I sometimes hand it to people that go, "Ah," and then it might get dropped. So if you want to hold it, you slide your fingers under it like this. See, they're soft on the bottom, they're sharp on the top. And then you can either hold it like that for a picture, or if you want a different picture, you can put your hand behind its two front feet so it doesn't just ball up. And then be like, "Oh, we're so cute," like that. And it makes a pretty cute picture. You're welcome to pick those up and hold them if you would like. So people often ask me if a hedgehog can shoot its quills like a porcupine. And I say, yeah, exactly the same. Because porcupines can't either. But you guys are hunters, so I guess you already know that. But the reason people think that is the porcupine's quill goes in you. An American porcupine has a barb on the end. So it doesn't want to come back out like a fish hook. And porcupines often give you a little side runner, ha, like that. And if you got a half dozen of them all stuck in you, when you leave from the porcupine, likely at a high rate of speed, the quills are going to go with you to the hospital instead of staying with the porcupine. But a porcupine cannot shoot its quills, and neither can a hedgehog. That is a myth. These guys are native to Europe. In Europe, they call this the gardener's friend because these are carnivores. They'll live in your garden, they'll eat the bugs and grubs and aphids and things that are harmful to your garden, but they would never eat the plants because they are entirely carnivorous. So they would not mess with your plants at all, and they would keep all the bugs gone. They, in the wintertime, if they're wild, they'll dig down into the ground and hibernate. In captivity, they don't hibernate. They do sometimes drop a deuce right by your foot, so stand up.
It happens.
I'm starting to think that a bunch of our animals have figured out a clever way to make their cage cleaner is to go to the bathroom while they're out. Especially the next guy I'm going to show you right here. He very often relieves himself when he's out of his cage. This guy is an iguana. He is a senior citizen iguana. We don't know how old he is, but he is at least 18 because the people that we got him from had him for 12 years and he was already 5 feet long when they got him, which would make him at least 6 when they got him. This guy is entirely friendly. The reason I pick him up with gloves is he grabs on when you pick him up, just trying to hang on, and his claws are quite sharp. But once he's out, you can just pet him like this. It's his favorite thing in the world is to be petted. So if you pet him here, he's all rough and bumpy. If you pet him here, he feels like sandpaper or something. If you pet him under here, he feels like a wallet maybe. So he has a number of different textures going there. He is, again, a arboreal creature meant to live in trees. Long, sharp claws let him scurry up a tree real quickly. And he is a good size, shape, and color to hide in the trees. The coppery brown legs blend in with the branches of trees, and his green back blends in with the leaves in trees. But then he also has a form of mimicry. So his particular form of mimicry is the circles on the sides of his face right there. If something is coming toward him that he's afraid of, he'll turn his head sideways like this and try to show this to be his eyeball. Because if he actually had eyeballs that size, that would be one huge creature. So he's hoping that whatever's coming his way will go, look at the eyes, and maybe run away instead of coming to make a snack of him. The next iguana that I have is very much smaller.
Does anybody want to touch Willie here? It's totally okay to touch him, and then you can actually tell him.
This one is an albino iguana.
He was getting ready to go outside, so I was making sure anybody wanted to touch him.
Would you like to hold this one?
Sure.
Wow.
That one is an albino. That one is just a year old. It should get as big as this guy is, but you know, it'll take a long time to get there. Although I saw one yesterday that they said was 6 months old. Man, it was huge.
Really?
Yeah. Compared to Neon there.
Hayden said that she was going somewhere interesting this weekend.
Said she was going to Repticon.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the one. I guess there are 2 this weekend. One in Nashville, one in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Put on by 2 different organizations. That red-tailed boas up there, they were going for like $40. But said, wait, I don't have anywhere to put one. Isn't that weird? Alright, so did you guys see the sulcata tortoises in the penny farm? These are also sulcata tortoises. Ones up there are 15 or 20 years old, these ones are 1 year old. And they come out of the shell, they're quite a bit smaller, which I'll show you in a minute. And then it takes them about a year to reach this size, it takes about 5 years to reach that size, and then they really take off after that. Tortoises live a very long time. They can get to be 100 years old. And I recently read an interesting thing that Charles Darwin brought one tortoise back from the Galapagos Islands, and that tortoise was well documented for all of its life. And at the end of its life, it was in Steve Irwin's zoo, 153 years old when it passed. So that puts the lifespan of a tortoise in perspective. It's Charles Darwin and Steve Irwin on the singing tortoise. Ellie, where are the little tortoises? Oh, Ron says she said put them in the back of my machine.
Yes, ma'am.
Bring it down here.
Are you gonna put some right now? No, ma'am. Ellie set it up there. Me and her building first. We found it in the building. Okay, you guys are getting ready to do that today. Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Bringing down some tiny tortoises to show you.
Was it saying that these square plates on the back of the alley?
There is a way to tell by that. It's not entirely accurate, and I'm no good at it. But yes, they ring like a tree. And I was reading a website one time about how to determine like that. And they scroll. You know, it's like one paragraph and a bunch of ads, one paragraph and a bunch of ads. And when I got all the way to the bottom of pages and pages of scrolling, it said the best way to know the age of your tortoise is to write down what day it's born, and then every year add one to that. I'm like, well, there's 15 minutes of my life I'll never get back. But clever way to work you through the clickbait.
I always heard on that lot, you could look at the square on the back of the alley.
Yep, it works, but it's not terribly accurate, and I'm not any good at it. But the one up there that we call Spike, that has the all things on its back, that means that it was very malnourished. So the years that it wasn't eating well, it gets the narrow part and it grows up bigger under it. So that one is a recent rescue. It was found on the side of I-40 in a hotel parking lot. And some people that found it tried to do well by it for quite some time, and then they decided they were not going to be successful, and they brought it here. And their big problem is that they are diggy fools, but they're pretty easy pets. The main thing to know about a tortoise is that they are chow hounds. So the proper amount to feed a tortoise is enough to fill its shell with food 5 days a week and nothing 2 days a week. So Monday to Friday feed them, and Saturday, Sunday to fast. And the wintertime behavior of a sulcata tortoise in the wild is to dig 10 or 12 feet straight ground underground and dig up to build a shelf. So they love ground if it rains real hard. Here though, their winter behavior is that brown house with a gray roof, has a tortoise heater built inside of the floor, and keep them good at about 35, and then after that, we come down here. So we don't want them to dig several feet underground, because when they come out on a really shallow angle, and they may come up 50 feet from where they went down. So that would be no good as far as leaving holes and ruts everywhere. But as long as they're fed and not too cold, they can make more big. Next guys are sugar gliders. Sugar gliders are cute little animals. If you would like to hold a sugar glider, I'll show you how you pick one up. You scoop like a pancake. Remember, you can't scoop a pancake like this, you switch the pancake. You can't scoop a pancake by waiting for it to curl under as fast as it never will. So to scoop it, you scoop like that. Scoop. Scoop like that. That's how you pick up a sugar glider. So front, back, scoop. From the front, scoop. There you go. One more one. There. These actually are in no way related to squirrels. These are marsupials, meaning mammals with pouches. So they are from Australia, and when they have a baby, it is the size of a single grain of rice. Ellie, the heat is in here, not out there.
I think we all decided we ain't one, but almost until we know, so.
Yeah. Well, you got to ask your roomies what they think, I suppose.
That is true, they're like, oh, I can have them discuss with you.
Yeah. I did. These are what they look like when they're like one. And these are A-bed. Yeah, they like to be on top. Remote. They like to go outside.
It's warm.
Remote.